Germany get over the line with a 3-1 win today at home against Northern Ireland after that horrific, disgusting disgrace of a performance away from home to Slovakia, that 2-0 L. The boys come back in this game and they come away with a 3-1 win. I'm not going to sit here and say this was a blazing game. Oh, we really showed the rest of Europe, the world, to not doubt us. We're back. This is Germany. It wasn't that. That wasn't the game. It was we started the game strong. We fell back into the same habits as the Slovakia game, which allowed Northern Ireland to come back and make it 1-1. And then in the second half, credit to Nagelsmann, he actually has a brain. He made the correct substitutions, and the game completely flipped. We completely dominated after Nagelsmann brought in guys like Bayer and Amiri and Goretzka, and we got the win in the end 3-1 after a very strong second half from the German national team. So, listen, yeah, like I said, like I asked for in the post-match reaction to the Slovakia game, ideally this game had to be like a 5-0 demolishment at home of Northern Ireland, but due to the reasons as I just stated, it wasn't that. Now it's a win, it's 3-1, and I'm happy with it, but overall the whole 90 minutes, it still wasn't good enough. The second half, trust me, the second half was a lot better. The second half after our substitutions was a lot better. The game completely flipped. Wirtz finally steps up and scores a beautiful free kick to make it 3-1. Amiri comes on, one of the substitutes, and scores the second goal as well. And it is what it is. Like, we live to fight another day. I guess that's a good way of putting it. We live to fight another day. And we deserve this win. It's a deserved win, 3-1. And let's just break it down now. Let's go to the starting lineup. This is how we started off. We ended up going a 3-4-3 kind of basically the entire game today. Baumann from last game still in goal. I think Baumann's been doing a good job. I think Baumann probably could have done better on the Northern Ireland goal today. Now, should Price be completely open at the back post? And did Serge Gnabry completely leave him wide open and not track his run? Yes. You can't blame Baumann for that. But you should be saving that. You should be saving that, Baumann. In the back three, Ta was dropped. Koch, Anton, and Rudiger all start in the back three. Rudiger gets a yellow card, so he's suspended for the next game at home against Luxembourg. So not a big deal. Raum, Gross, Kimmich, and Leveling start as the four. And then the front three of Wirtz, Serge Gnabry, and Voltemade. And we start the game off strong. And Voltemade, we get a counterattack. We win the ball back around the halfway line. Voltemade gets the ball out from under his feet into Serge Gnabry's path. And, credit to Serge Gnabry. I honestly thought he would be too slow to take advantage of the opportunity, but he got in front of his defender and he put in a beautiful chipped goal to the bottom left corner to put us up 1-0. And honestly, at 1-0, I'm thinking, all right, this is our 5-0 game. This is the response I want. This is the response we're going to get, 5-6-0. The whole team's going to play well. And to be honest, after that first goal, we fell right back into the habits of that Slovakia game. We fell right back into the exact same shit we were doing against Slovakia. After going 1-0 up, we had like maybe 2 half chances. But after those 2 half chances, we fell back to passing sideways all the time, passing backwards, playing individually, not playing as a team, losing our challenges, losing our aerial duels, being second to everything. And eventually Northern Ireland got a deserved equalizer because, Devaney, Connor Bradley, they were pressing us high up the pitch, pushing us back. And eventually on the corner kick, like I explained before, they get the goal and it was fully deserved. And I was going into halftime, guys, on the live stream, and I'm just completely dejected. I feel defeated. I think we're not going to go to the World Cup. I think, honestly, at halftime, I thought we're losing this game. Based off how the second half of that first half went, I genuinely thought, no way. We were that bad. I just thought there's no way we could even create a chance because for the second half of that, the second part of that first half, we created nothing. Northern Ireland dominated us. We could not beat their press. Every time the ball went to Voltemade, useless. Wirtz, useless. Gnabry completely ghosted after his goal. Rendered completely ineffective. And it is what it is. But in that second half, honestly, we started the second half the same. We didn't have many ideas. Northern Ireland was going basically toe for toe with us. we were not able to gain control of the game. But then, credit to Nagelsmann, he has been a bum this week. Honestly, I even think with this lineup here, this isn't the lineup he should have played, but it is what it is. But he's been a bum, but he makes these substitutions. 60th minute, he brings in Amiri for Voltemata, Bayer for Gnabry, and then in the 66th, he brings in Goretzka for Pascal Gross. And basically, after Bayer and Amiri came on, the game kind of flipped, brings on Goretzka, and then Amiri and Wirtz get a goal, get the goals, 2 within like 3-4 minutes, and we close the game out pretty comfortably and basically dominate them until the final whistle. So, yeah, not the 5-0, 6-0 game I wanted, all this possession, but I'm telling you guys, most of this possession was frustrating, slow, individual, passing out of the back, passing to our wingbacks who were getting exposed and not having options, passing backwards, sideways. It was a lot of boring possession. I was yawning multiple times. I was bored. And looking at the starting lineup, as a collective, this team did play better than the team against Slovakia. But I don't think this Northern Ireland team is as good as Slovakia. So I don't know how this starting 11 today would have compared to the team that played against Slovakia 3 days ago. I don't know. But if we're going player by player, Baumann was all right. I think, with Baumann, with all this possession we have, I think something you do notice is that compared to Manuel Neuer, he doesn't have the ability to play long balls right to a player's foot like Manuel Neuer. So a lot of times when Baumann clears the ball, it's to Northern Ireland. When Manuel Neuer clears the ball, he is actually picking out a player and getting us the ball to our feet and starting attacks and counterattacks. Baumann just doesn't have that ability, and I don't blame him. Koch and Anton were all right. Rudiger, Anton, and Koch were all right. Like they played well as a collective. I don't blame them for the goal Northern Ireland scored, to be honest, because Serge Gnabry should be following his runner. He just lets him run to the back post and does nothing about it. So they played all right. I bet passing out of the back sometimes, Koch, Anton, and Rudiger looked lost. They played some really risky passes at times that they shouldn't have played. But yeah, I think from the back line, I'm probably the happiest with Koch. I think it was solid. Anton was a level brick, and it had me worried sometimes. And Anton actually did have a chance to score. He had a headed opportunity that hit the crossbar. He should have been doing a lot better there. I genuinely think Anton should be, as a professional footballer playing for Borussia Dortmund, you should be scoring that. Anton should have a goal today. So disappointed with how we took that headed chance. And then go to midfield. I think the most disappointing player in midfield was Gross. Like, he just looked too old out there. Honestly, Pascal Gross just looked too old. He was slowing things down. Again, as it just always seems to be with Josip Kimmich in midfield, we cannot get him an actual midfield partner. Now, and against Slovakia, I was very happy with him and Stiller starting, but that didn't work out. Everyone played like ass. I really felt Nagelsmann shouldn't have punished Stiller today by dropping him. I think he should have started Stiller again over Gross, but it is what it is. He didn't. We won in the end, so who knows if things would have been any different. I can't question it. Gross ended up coming out for Goretzka before we scored the 2 goals anyway. And yeah, I was happy with Leveling. In the first half, he was kind of ineffective, but in the second half, he was probably our best player. Kimmich just doing what he can with players that won't make runs, players that won't open up into dangerous positions. He did his best. David Raum had a much better second half in the first. And then you go to the front three. Gnabry ghosted after his goal. Yes, Voltemata has an assist, but I'm telling you, Voltemata was awful. Nick Voltemata was genuinely disgusting. He was so ineffective, getting bullied, couldn't dribble, couldn't hold up the ball, couldn't pass. He genuinely didn't do shit. He genuinely didn't do shit besides that assist he got, that quote-unquote assist. Gnabry did all the work there. He didn't do anything. And listen, man, with Voltemata, yes, Newcastle paid 90 million, but it's like I suspected. It's a massive overpay. It's a massive, massive overpay for Nick Voltemata. And genuinely, when he came off, Bayer had a much better game than him. Max Bayer from Dortmund, young striker as well, had a much better game than Voltemata. He was much more threatening, actually was able to hold up the ball, actually was making runs in behind, was actually a constant nuisance and threat to the Northern Irish defense. Voltemade provided nothing, no threat at all. No threat. And honestly, if everyone is fit out of Germany's strikers, if everyone is fit, Füllkrug, Tim Kleindienst, Bayer, after today, I'm putting Voltemade at 4th or 5th string. 4th or 5th string German striker. Honestly, I'm being serious. And if you want to put Havertz at striker, I'll take Havertz at striker over Nick Voltemade. I'm being dead ass. So you're looking at Voltemade based off performance right now, being your 4th or 5th string striker. Bro, this kid might not make it to the World Cup. This kid might not make it to the World Cup next summer. I'm just being completely honest. And then Wirtz today, his first half was awful. He had like a couple flashes of brilliance where he took players on. But the second half, he was much better. And yeah, he stepped up and scored a very beautiful free kick to make it 3-1. So credit to him. And then the subs, they all played well. I was trolling Amiri in my live stream saying he sucks, he's this and that. He comes on and gets the goal. Goretzka came on and did better than Gross. And Max Bayer did a lot better than Nick Voltemade with the 30-ish minutes he got today. So 3-1 win. If we want to go and take a look at the group, actually, let's actually go take a look at the group in Group A. Slovakia get a late winner against Luxembourg away from home. So they're on 6 points ahead of us. They have 3 goal difference. We're in third because we've scored less goals than Northern Ireland since our goal difference is the same. And Luxembourg is bottom with 0 wins out of 2 games. So, listen. So a couple things I learned during this match. Head-to-head isn't the first thing they go off for draws in these groups. It's going to be goal difference. So as I was saying in my last video in the Slovakia post-match, we need to get these goal differences up. We need to, in those 2 games against Luxembourg, put 4, 5 goals past them. We need to get a lot of goals in those 2 Luxembourg games for sure. And we just need to win those that second Northern Ireland and second Slovakia games. And I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine to go to the World Cup in first place. In the next game, we played Luxembourg at home, and then Northern Ireland hosts Slovakia. So honestly, we would much rather prefer Northern Ireland beat Slovakia in that game. We would very much prefer Northern Ireland to get the win over Slovakia in that next game. And then another thing I learned as well is because Germany won their Nations League group, even if we were to finish last in this group and say Germany lost every single game, we would still be in the playoffs. We already have an automatic berth in the playoff tournaments in March. So I didn't know that. I honestly didn't know that. So cool. For me, it doesn't matter. It's a moot point because our goal is we have to avoid playoffs. We're not a playoffs team. We need to finish in first. We need to automatically qualify. And I think seeing how Slovakia struggled away to Luxembourg, I have faith that Northern Ireland could do something in Slovakia. A win or a draw, either way, a draw would be the best case scenario for Germany. In the Slovakia and Northern Ireland games, a draw in either of those 2 fixtures between them would be great for us. And we just have to focus on ourselves, win the rest of our games, and score a lot of goals. We have to score a lot of goals against Luxembourg, really. That should be our main target. Get 4 or 5 goals in those 2 games each. So 8 to 10 goals across 2 games against Luxembourg should be our goal to get that goal difference up. So, listen, Wirtz steps up today. Nagelsmann actually has a brain and makes quality substitutions that change the game, even though I actually doubted them at the beginning. And we win the game 3-1. And we just got to keep going. Hopefully, in a month, some of these German players are in better form. I think that's also something you have to take into account with this Germany team right now. Yes, it's Slovakia. Yes, it's Northern Ireland. But the fact of the matter is, not a lot of these German players coming into this international break were on form. The only players I would say were probably on form coming into these games were Jonathan Tah, maybe Kimmich. Not a lot of players were coming into these games on form. So in a month's time, at the beginning of October, I hope Tah goes and improves at Bayern. I hope Anton or Rudiger or whatever improve and are in better form. I hope Stiller is in better form. Raum, Leveling as well, better form. Like these players need to come back in a month playing much better football at the club level before they come to the national team. And one thing I'll end off saying about this and in the future for those October games, mainly for the squad selection, is Nagelsmann should really look at new players. Really, there are players out there that he should be looking at and give opportunities. A Ridley Baku, a potential right back option. Angzer Ganalf, a potential right back, right wing back option at Eintracht Frankfurt. He should call these guys up. At center back, he should call up Malik Chow. He should call up Jan Aral Bisek from Inter Milan. He should call these guys up and give them a chance, because I think they really can give and provide a lot to this team. New ideas, fresh players, fresh faces, more desire maybe. Get Pavlovic back into this team now that he's fully fit. See how Tom Bischoff develops after his injury. Bring Tom Bischoff into this team. These are players we need to bring in and give a chance. So, just food for thought, man. Nagelsmann should really look at squad selection in a month and think of bringing some new faces in, like he said after the Slovakia game. So, yeah, it's been your boy Hokage. I'll see you guys in my next videos. I'm tired. I was just emotionally drained from watching that first half performance from Germany. Genuinely, guys, like, it ruined my mood. It was physically and mentally draining to watch them play that badly in the first half. But hey, the second half was better. 3-1 win. Let's just move. Let's put these 2 games behind us. And in October, I want much better performances. No excuses. So let's see what happens then. It's been a boy Hokage. I'll see you guys in the next videos. Peace.